Hi, welcome to the Pre-Snow History Hub. This video is going to be looking at the Gulf of Tonkin incident and the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. So, up until this point, no US combat troops had entered Vietnam, and the US government was keen to fight a limited war. This all changed, however, in August 1964 due to an incident off the Gulf of Tonkin. So, as you can see on this map, the Gulf of Tonkin is a body of water. Tonkin Bay is a body of water just off the coast of North Vietnam. So, what actually happened in the Gulf of Tonkin incident? I'm going to show you a timeline here to help you to understand the events. So, by the 2nd of August 1964, the North Vietnamese had become angered by ARVN attacks in the north. Suddenly, a US destroyer ship, the USS Maddox, was fired at by North Vietnamese patrol boats in the Gulf of Tonkin. The Maddox was gathering intelligence information. The radar had shown 3 Vietnamese torpedo boats closing in. The captain had called for air support. The North Vietnamese boats fired and the Maddox fired back. The Maddox withdrew when air support arrived. 2 days later, on the 4th of August, there was a second alleged attack. So it's important to note that this is an alleged attack. We don't really fully know 100% what happened. In a bad storm, the USS Maddox and USS Turner Joy reported North Vietnamese torpedo boats attacks and claimed to have sunk 2 enemy boats. However, there was confusion about what actually happened. Johnson was told of the incident, but was later told there may not have been an attack at all. Ignoring the confusion, Johnson ordered US planes to strike North Vietnamese targets in retaliation. 2 US jets were shot down in this strike. On the night of the 4th of August, there was a bad storm, so the US captains had to rely on radar and sonar for their information. This is affected in bad weather. The radar on the Maddox was later found to be faulty. The North Vietnamese had definitely attacked on the 2nd, so captains of both ships feared this was another attack. On the 5th of August 1964, Johnson told Congress about the attack on the Maddox and C. Turner Joy. He asked Congress to get him the power to stop future attacks on US forces. So, what was the Gulf of Tonkin resolution then? So, don't forget there's a difference between the incident. So, we've just looked at the incident. Now we're about to look at the resolution. So, 2 days after Johnson told Congress that he needed some action on this, on the 7th of August 1964, Congress passed the Gulf of Tonkin resolution with very little opposition. This resolution gave Johnson the power to take all necessary steps to stop attacks on US forces without consulting Congress or officially declaring war. The resolution allowed Johnson to do what he thought was needed, but this therefore included sending combat troops into Vietnam. So remember that Johnson has not officially declared war here, but is just taking every step and every necessary action that he needs to take in order to stop US forces being attacked in Vietnam. The Gulf of Tonkin resolution was passed by Congress in the belief there had been 2 attacks. However, in reality, there had only been 1. The resolution was not a declaration of war on North Vietnam, but it had the same effect. He did not want to declare war because this might lead to a larger conflict with Soviet Russia, USSR, and China. Johnson ordered airstrikes on North Vietnam despite doubts over the attack. So, what were the consequences of the Gulf of Tonkin resolution? In response, North Vietnam increased their involvement in the South. From November 1964 to February 65, more and more people and supplies were sent south down via the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The Viet Cong were urged to target US bases. The 2nd of December 1964, fighting began at Binh Gia, just 40 miles south of Saigon. It lasted until the 3rd of January 1965. It was at Atbac the VC won. Over 50 helicopters were destroyed or damaged and prisoners were taken. On the 7th of February, the VC attacked the US airfield at Pleiku. They left 9 dead, 128 wounded, and 122 aircraft were destroyed or damaged. In response, 3,500 US combat troops arrived to protect air bases. This number reached 200,000 by the end of the year. US involvement in Vietnam was costing $2 million a day. After steady escalation, both the USA and North Vietnam were committed to a war neither really wanted. Some of Johnson's advisers were wildly optimistic about how long fighting would last. It was difficult for many Americans, politicians, and the public to accept that a country as rich and powerful as the USA could not win against North Vietnam. The most important thing for the USA was to keep the South Vietnamese government in power, whether popular or not. So, step by step, they moved towards sending in troops to do that because the ARVN could not. 500,000 US troops were in Vietnam by 1968. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the Peaceful History Hub. The next video is going to be on Viet Cong and guerrilla tactics.